host on this channel. So we will start our discussion on the key concepts of the numerology. In this video, we will try to understand the energies, the vibration of this number 1. Right now, we are not concerned about whether this is your life path number, your destiny number, your heart number. We are just going to get a generic idea of the energies of this number 1, and we will try to understand that on the following parameters which are written on the board. So before we'll start our discussion, just a quick recap of all what we have studied in the introductory video. What we are trying to do is that we are trying to understand and analyze each of Earth's energy or vibration in the form of the numbers, as it has been ascribed by the great scholar and the great mathematician Pythagoras, that at the time of our birth, the vibration which was prominent at that point of time can be equated and understood in the form of these numbers. So these numbers are going to have a major say in your personality, in your belief system, in the making career choices, the profession. Along with they will also give you a easy tool to plan your days, to understand and do the marriage compatibility, the business compatibility, which all places you will find your life in harmony, which all places if you will go, you will find more obstacles, you will find more difficulties. So this science of numerology is comparatively bit easy if you will compare it with the fine intricate details of palm, which is palmistry, or let's say even with the astrology, because taking out the auspicious time, why astrology has a lot to do with which nakshatra moon is transiting at that time. Is it accordant to your Rashi? Is it accordant to your Lagna, to your planetary configuration? So the science of numerology is bit easy as compared to other form of divination. So either it will help you becoming an independent psychic, or if you know this and you also know other form of divination. So making a blend of everything is definitely going to give you a sharp edge in your reading, in your analysis. So all of that we have already discussed in the introductory videos. Now we will start fresh on this topic of understanding the energy of this number 1. So the first thing is about the ruling planet. So the sun, the king amongst all the planets, the royal king, just has got the rulership of this number 1. Now what do you get to know from the sun? Apart from its astronomical significance, that it is the life giver to the whole universe, we also know that the sun's energy, if it is considered as a king, so it means it has all the positive qualities of all other planets. Now whether it's in the form of the energy of the planet Mars, whether it is in the form of the compassion, the grace, the knowledge of the Jupiter, or let's say many people associate the Venus with the art, but in order to become a real connoisseur, to become a great artist, you need to have the prominence of the sun in your life. Sun, which rules the original 5th house in astrological chart, 5th house which is of the artistic and the creative talents. So there also sun has the prominence, along with when it comes to the intelligence. So 5th house in an astrological chart is the house of intellect, which we generally consider and associate with the Mercury, but there also you have a gain and you have an upper edge when it comes to the sun. So all these qualities of other planets has some or other traces you will find in a superior way in the functioning of the sun, which rules this number 1. So this is about the ruling planet, and we all know other aspect of the sun, that it is a Kshatriya planet. It rules the east direction, it governs the right eye, the left hemisphere of the brain, the right part of the body, the right nostrils, the right channel known as the Pingala. Apart from that, it rules the 3 nakshatras, the Kritika, Uttara Falguni, Uttara Shada. It exalts in the Aries, it debilitates in the Libra. So all these are the qualities, the authoritativeness, the courage, the leadership qualities, the pioneering approach, reaching to the top of the position, traveling, remaining very generous in the relationship. So all these qualities have been associated with the ruling planet, which is going to infuse all these things in the functioning and in the vibration of number 1 as well. Even if you have to look at the shape, so you will get to know a lot from the shape as well. So just by giving a prominence and giving a attention to the shape of this number 1, you will just get to know that a very strong back, a head raised in a very pride, in a very very regal way, a strong foundation. So from the shape only you will get to know about the individualistic quality of this number 1. When it comes to the positive, negative, destructive, and let's say the personal side. So let's take the case of the positive. So first of all, these people tend to remain very intelligent. These people have the courage, have the willpower, have the strong determination. What do you need to excel in their life. Because with these people, the first thing is that these people are hardworking, they have very pioneering, a new way of thinking towards any particular situation. And the best part is, it's not like that these people are only working hard, they are working hard on the surface, and they have their goals, their eyes set at the throne, set at the top position, so which makes them excel. And apart from that, these people, the best part about a one person or someone who will be under the prominence of the sun is that these people will not hesitate in working hard, and they want to rise in their life with doing the rightest deed. It would rarely be a case that they will opt for the unethical means in order to succeed in their life. So all these qualities, even in the friendship, these people tend to remain very generous, very kind. These are among those leaders who would also instill confidence in their subordinates. They want to grow in their life, but they also want their subordinates, their younger brother, their younger siblings, also to grow and do good in their life. There is a sense of luxury, pomp and show, and regality inherent in their personality, which comes very naturally to them. Their artistic, their creative talents tend to remain very high. They are very punctual, they are very organized, and they have a little bit kind of less tolerance towards all the unethical things, false ego, despondency. So all these things just kind of turn them off. So this is about the positive qualities of the number one. When it comes to the negative side of the number one, so the negative side is that just because there's too much of the individualisticness is involved, so many times it has been seen that under the case of affliction, these people can act out of egoism. Too much of the dictatorship has been seen, trying to have their own way to do things. This generosity could become too much of the ostentatiousness, boastfulness, too much of the extravagance has been seen. These people might be struggling, might be facing problem, but they will not reach out to people. That might hurt their ego. And just because it has been generally seen that these people, specifically in the case of the males, they also get attracted to the opposite sex as well, so which might also cause the fall from the grace. So this is about the negative aspect of the number one, trying to have their own way at any cost. Now when it comes to the destructive, the extreme negative side of the number one, so too much of the narcissism can be seen, too much of the trying to have their own way at any cost, the kind of tyranny, kind of antagonism. So all these qualities can be seen if the one is acting on a very destructive, in a very extreme negative aspect, in a very extreme negative way. When it comes to their personal side, so just because these people tend to have quick wit, good humor, they tend to remain very kind, very benevolent. But when it comes to their spouses, their expectation from their spouses, so these are among those people who just want their spouse to match them in the aura, and match them in the elegance. So they are among those people who will not fall for someone who will be very lazy, who will be lacking in the virtues, will be lacking in the ethics, who will have a questionable character. So all these qualities are going to turn off them. And just because, see, they want someone to be assertive like them, confident like them, but that should not be up to that extent, which is going to hurt their ego, because the ego gets hurt very easily. These people do not want to get bullied. These people do not want to be criticized. That could be a different thing, that these people have a critical attitude, but being asked to do something, being criticized, being contradicted, is just going to hurt their ego. But the best part is that if you are putting your point forward to a one person with a proper logic to it, with a proper truth to it, then you can still make them change their opinion. But otherwise it becomes very difficult to change the opinion of a number one person. When it comes to the opportunities and the vocation, so just because their opportunities lies in all those kind of fields, first of all, where there is innovativeness, there is originality involved. Second thing is all those areas where they have the potential to lead, where there is the potential of reaching to the top. Because when these people work, they put forth their full energy, but with this thing in the mind that they have this coveted title, this throne at the back of their mind, that this is the place where I want to reach. So if you're going to give them a team, give them a challenging opportunity, give them a leadership position, and with a vision in the mind that this is the position which you are entitled for, this is the position, the top position where you can reach. So these people are going to put forth their best energy. When it comes to the vocation, so the vocations like first of all, self business, doing and working for yourself, like business will come under the purview of the number 1, someone who will be strongly under the influence of the number 1. Second thing is anything related to the surgery, to the medicine, anything related to the entertainment industry, the film industry, the musicians, the journalism, the advertising will come under the purview and the associated profession with the number 1. Anything related to the spirituality, spiritual leaders, the CEOs, people working in the government, top government organizations, engineers, the planners will come under the purview of the profession governed by the number 1. When it comes to the body organs and the diseases, so the number 1 is being associated with the heart and the eyes. So when it comes to the diseases, so high blood pressure and the problem related to the blood circulation has been seen. Apart from that, just because the temperament is bile, is pitta, is fiery, so too much of the anger, too much of the grief, too much of the physical exertion, these people they have to avoid. Apart from any of the too much exposure to the sun, indulging into and eating salty, the oily food, very pungent substance. So all these things these people have to avoid. And the body organs, I have already explained that it is being associated with the right eye, right nostril, the pingala, the left hemisphere of the brain. When it comes to the compatible numbers, so this thing is very important. So just because 1 is the number of sun, they are most compatible with the number 1. They are compatible with the number 2, which is being ruled by the moon. They are compatible with the number 3, which is the number of Jupiter. They are compatible with the number 5, which is of Mercury, because sun has got a neutral relationship with the Mercury. And they are also compatible with the number 9, which is of the Mars. So 1, 2, 3, 5 and the 9. Now when it comes to the disharmony, and a little bit catch to it, see, just because they are compatible with the number 2, but just because they have a very masculine, very yang kind of nature, so that might be a case that this partnership is going to thrive. But just because the 2 number, which is moon, is about sensitivity, it's about a fickleness, so that might be a case that sometimes 2 people see 1 as extremely dominating. So that's something which is needs to be taken into lots of consideration while doing the compatibility. Number 3 is the best match, because number 3 is the preceptor, is about the knowledge, the wisdom, the friendship, all of those qualities which 1 also represent. When it comes to the number 4, which is the number of Rahu, associated with Rahu, so this union is not considered as very good. But yes, even if that would happen, so more than the 1, it's the 4 number person who will gain more from the 1. 5 is about the intelligence, but the only problem is that 5 is about the changeability, the 1 is about the sun, which requires a discipline, which wants everything to be prescribed. The 5 number, the 5 person might want to make everyone happy, but it becomes very difficult to make the number 1 happy because of the high set bar. When it comes to the number 6, which is the Venus, there the problem is that just because, see, Venus is all about the love of home, everything is fair in love, but when it comes to the 1, it's all about the discipline, it's all about following the prescribed norms. Number 7, which is with the Ketu. So with Ketu, it's all about the intuitiveness, the imagination, but with 1, it's all about the reasonability. That is the only reason they do not get along very well. And the 8 is with the Saturn, and as all you people know that Saturn and Sun, these people are the arch enemies, and so just there also there remains to be little bit of the disharmony in this union, in this compatibility, whether in the form of the relationship, the marriage or the business partnership. So that we will take separately, but this is about the compatibility. When it comes to the lucky colors, gemstones and the metal, so the lucky colors governed by the number 1 or for the number 1 person are first of all the golden, yellow, orange, peach and the bronze are the lucky colors. When it comes to the metal, so copper is the metal associated with the number 1, and when it comes to the gemstone, so the ruby is the gemstone which is very auspicious for someone who will be strongly under the influence of the number 1 or to imbibe, assimilate the energies, the vibration of the number 1. So this is all what I wanted to say as my take on the vibrations of the number 1. I hope you guys found this video informational. For further more updates and notification on numerology, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page.